Hello guys, welcome to Benghazi TV. Not a very good time to come your way, but hey, we need to do so. It is quite late, but after watching the Black Stars lose this crucial AFCON qualifier with Angola, I think it's only fair that I come through with a bit of analysis and some key pointers that we picked up in the game played between Ghana and Angola at the Yara Stadium in Kumasi. It happened to be our very first game in the qualifiers for the AFCON. The AFCON is set for Morocco next year, and Ghana obviously need to get themselves going. In the same group in the qualifiers with Sudan and Niger. Don't forget, Sudan beat Niger 1-0 in their game. Now we've lost. Ghana, has lost to Angola on home soil. The first time Ghana is losing in Kumasi in 24 years. Last time it was in 2000 when Ghana lost to South Africa. You recall that goal scored by Siabonga Nombete. Yeah. That's the last time the Black Stars lost to any team in Africa in Kumasi, Ghana. And again, today, Ghana has lost to Angola. The only goal scored by João Felicio. Yeah, João Felicio with the only goal for Angola to ensure they won the game. So late on, in fact, in other time, that's when he got the goal for Ghana. So what are the key pointers really we picked up from this particular game? And it looks as though the pitch is dominating the headlines, and yes, we need to admit to that, and that cannot be an excuse. However, as was pointed out by Coach Otoado in his post-match press conference, it cannot be an excuse. The pitch cannot be an excuse, but we can also forget about the fact that it played a role in the result we saw, because it did not allow the players from both teams, Ghana and of course Angola, to express themselves in the best of ways they would have loved to do on the pitch today. So clearly the pitch again coming into focus. After the game, in fact, the coach of Angola had some damning verdict on the pitch that was used, of course, the pitch at Kumasi, I must say. So, according to the coach of Angola, Pedro Concalves, he said that a nation like Ghana, with all the talent and the great players we have, deserves to be playing on a better pitch and in a better stadium.
To play football, the pitch is difficult. I think a country like Ghana deserves better stadium with a better national pitch for playing football, because they are lovely players. They deserve a better pitch.
Clearly, something you and I have been saying here all this while. A nation that can spend so much money, in fact, millions of dollars, in other things, but cannot work on a football pitch in this #1 football stadium in the country. And in this day and age, Ghanaians are so complaining, and teams will come to Ghana and complain about quality of pitch and how bad our pitch is in world football. I mean, it's shambolic. It's a big shame to everyone involved in Ghana sports, from the government over the years, the current government, the Ministry of Youth and Sports, and its assigns, the NSA, who are supposed to be doing the management of these pitches and these stadiums. It's a big shame on all of them, plus, of course, all of us in football, all involved. Now, on the game itself, clearly, from the onset, the Stars showed signs of an improved side who wanted to obviously continue with their fine form from their last qualifiers, though for the World Cup in June, when they won against Mali and won against Yara. But this was difficult against Angola for these obvious reasons. Aside the pitch, I think that our laterals did not really help with the approach and how the coaches decided to go with the laterals. We chose to go with laterals who were playing on opposing sides. A right footer playing on the left side in Antoine Semenyo, and left footer playing on the right side. So it meant they had to be cutting in a lot more, and it seemed as though it didn't really work in our favor, because we don't have the typical wingers who bombard the wings and put in the crosses. Most of the times you had Fatau get the ball, would play his way towards the goal line, but has to then flick the ball back, take his time to try and get the ball back on his left foot before he puts a cross in. That meant that the Angolan defense will recover. It was similar for Antoine on the left side because he also had to now mostly cut back, bring it back onto his right foot. And again, to make it worse, he was playing with Alidu Seidu, a right-footed left back today. So again, for him, he could not put in the crosses in time with his left foot. Always had to cut it back on the right, before putting the cross. So decision making, in the game from our strikers, Jordan, Antoine, Fatau himself, Mohamed Kudus, decision making for me was not concise, especially in the attacking areas. In cases where they had to shoot, they were dribbling. When they had to dribble, they were shooting and it was off target. So all these for me were key in us not performing. Again, even though we had an entirely new back line, I'm talking about the combinations. Lamte, Saidu on the left, and then of course Salisu, and then the new man who unfortunately made a mistake that led to the goal. These four guys have not played together before, but interestingly, they performed quite very well for me until the mistake that getted Angola as the only goal. That back line did for me a very good job, and it's unfortunate that after such a wonderful performance by the four in defense, that mistake that came the way of one gentleman who is trying to break into the Black Stars team led to the only goal scored, and that's Abdul Mumin. I'm only hoping that Abdul Mumin can recover from this in time because the prospects really look good with that player. Even in the game today, you saw the combination with Salisu, and I think that I loved it. They kept Mabululu and of course Dala very quiet in the game until the mistake, like I said, from Abdul Mumin. But I'm hoping they can recover. Those guys were good. In midfield, I didn't really see the impact and the typical Thomas Partey that we see at Arsenal. He seemed to be so conservative in the game today. He was doing the simple things, takes the ball, pass the ball back, takes the ball, pass the ball back. We didn't see any industrious effort from him. He wasn't doing or going beyond himself to try and orchestrate or create in the middle. And that for me wasn't good enough from Thomas Partey. I don't know what the reasons are, but clearly what we saw from Thomas Partey today was a bit pedestrian. He could easily have forgotten that he was in the game because we didn't see any real effort on the part of Thomas Partey. For Elisha Owusu, I mean, this is the typical Elisha Owusu, even though I felt that he was giving some good cover to the defensive shelf, especially on the right side, because anytime, we were off the ball, you saw him trying to cover the space left behind when Tariq Lamptey joined the attack. So Elisha Owusu for me was effective. But of course, going forward, we didn't see so much also from him in the team. For Mo Kudus, it's becoming clear that all our opponents have realized the quality of Mohamed Kudus and they deploy a special tactics to make him ineffective. After the game, the coach of Angola was asked, and clearly, even though he was a bit evasive, they had a plan for Mo Kudus. There was always one person on Kudus, which made it difficult for Kudus because when he went outwitted the player, there was someone to recover the ball from Mo Kudus. It made it difficult for us to really see Kudus, even though a few brilliances we saw from Mo Kudus in the game, but we didn't see so much from him. Jordan, well, didn't turn up early in camp. He tried. I mean, there were occasions we saw Jordan try to break into the attacking areas. He put in a few efforts. He had a chance. He could have scored, but I mean, the shot was blocked briefly by the defense of Angola. So in total, even those who came on, Ashimeru came on, tried his bit. We didn't see so much from him. Joe Pencil came on, but they came in too late with just about 10 or so minutes to go. So we didn't see any real impact from both Ashimeru and Joe Pencil. The changes I felt could have been done a bit earlier by the coach, Otto Addo. So on that front, I fault Otto Addo for perhaps not bringing in the changes because it was clear that the likes of Fatai Shahaku and Antoine Semenyo at the point were not really pulling their weight. Same can be said about Thomas Partey and also Elisha Owusu. But hey, we ended up losing through that unfortunate mistake from our defender. And like I said, I'm hoping that he can recover from this and be ready for the game on Monday. But this is just my key pointers I picked from the game today. For the fans' misbehavior and all that after the game, well, some other time we took a look at that. But for the game itself, I think that we lost the game today for a number of reasons. A bit of bad luck or hard luck on the part of the defense with that mistake. Then the coaches could have done a few things in a much better and a much more efficient manner. But again, the key point, Baba Yara Sports Stadium pitch. Ghana, when? These are my thoughts really. Subscribe to the channel. It's Bengali TV right here on YouTube.